Episode 16, Design, Smoke Alarms. The first design consideration for smoke alarms is required placement. Rooms. For the bedrooms, each bedroom requires one. Hallways. Each hallway leading to a bedroom requires one. Basement stairs and vaulted ceilings require smoke alarms. The next design consideration is position in the rooms. In the bedrooms, the locations for ceiling-mounted smoke detectors installed on a smooth ceiling for a single or double doorway must match the center line of the doorway no more than 5 feet from the door and no closer than 12 inches to the doorway. In the hallway, the smoke alarm must be centrally located but not installed within 36 inches horizontally from a door to a bathroom containing a shower or tub. For a stairway leading up from a basement, smoke alarms shall be located on the basement ceiling near the entrance to the stairs. For vaulted ceilings, the smoke alarm cannot be within 4 vertical inches of the peak. It must be placed below that height at a position that is 72 inches or less from side to side of the vaulted ceiling. How many do I need and what type? Simple smoke alarm or combination smoke and carbon monoxide? I'll begin with the required combination of smoke carbon monoxide alarm, 7 total. I need 1 for each floor, that's 3. I need them in hallways leading to bedrooms, that's 2 more. The furnace room, that's 1. And the peak of the loft, that's 1 also. Now, simple smoke alarms, total on those is 10. The bedrooms and bonus room require 7, and 1 in each in the basement den, storage room, and at the base of the basement stairs. So, of the 10 simple, I'll replace 3 of those with the combination alarms, which was the requirement of 1 for each floor. So, I ended up with 14 total smoke alarms, 7 combination and 7 simple. Wiring of smoke alarms. Smoke alarms are not permitted to be supplied by a branch circuit protected by a combo ground, arc fault circuit interrupter, GFCI, AFCI, because during a fire situation, the interrupter may trip and potentially disable the smoke alarm. 14 3-wire is used for smoke alarms. There's a traveling signal wire so that they can talk to each other. A common practice is to add an oft-used light onto the circuit, like the entryway or laundry light. That way you know if the smoke alarm circuit breaker is tripped. I chose to put the laundry room light on this circuit. California Code also has some good recommendations for locations. The URL is below. 29.8.3.4 Specific location requirements. The installation of smoke alarms and smoke detectors shall comply with the following requirements. Smoke alarms and smoke detectors shall not be located where ambient conditions, including humidity and temperature, are outside the limits specified by the manufacturer's published instructions. Smoke alarms and smoke detectors shall not be located within unfinished attics or garages or in other spaces where the temperature can fall below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees C, or exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees C. Smoke alarms and smoke detectors shall not be located where the mounting surface could become considerably warmer or cooler than the room, such as a poorly insulated ceiling below an unfinished attic or an exterior wall. Smoke alarms and smoke detectors shall be instead mounted on an inside wall. Smoke alarms or smoke detectors shall be installed a minimum of 20 feet horizontal distance from a permanently installed cooking appliance. Exceptions. Ionization smoke alarms with an alarm silencing switch or photoelectric smoke alarms shall be permitted to be installed 10 feet or greater from a permanently installed cooking appliance. Photoelectric smoke alarms shall be permitted to be installed greater than 6 feet from a permanently installed cooking appliance where the kitchen or cooking area and adjacent spaces have no clear interior partitions and the 10-foot distances would prohibit the placement of a smoke alarm or smoke detector required by other sections of code. Smoke alarms listed for use in close proximity to a permanently installed cooking appliance. Installation near bathrooms. Smoke alarms shall be installed not less than a 3-foot horizontal distance from the door opening of a bathroom that contains a bathtub or shower, unless this would prevent placement of a smoke alarm required by other section of code. Smoke alarms and smoke detectors shall not be installed within a 36-inch horizontal path from the supply registers of a forced air heating or cooling system and shall be installed outside of the direct airflow from those registers. Smoke alarms and smoke detectors shall not be installed within a 36-inch horizontal path from the tip of the blade of a ceiling suspended paddle fan. Where stairs lead to other occupied levels, a smoke alarm or smoke detector shall be located so that smoke rising in the stairway cannot be prevented from reaching the smoke alarm or smoke detector by an intervening door or obstruction. For stairways leading up from a basement, smoke alarms or smoke detectors shall be located on the basement ceiling near the entry to the stairs. For tray-shaped ceilings, coffered ceilings, smoke alarms and smoke detectors shall be installed on the highest portion of the ceiling or on the sloped portion of the ceiling within 12 inches vertically down from the highest point. Smoke alarms and detectors installed in rooms with joists or beams shall comply with the requirements listed. Heat alarms and detectors installed in rooms with joists or beams shall also comply with requirements as listed. Episode 17, Design. Air Exchanger. The house is sealed, and it needs the ability to breathe, especially in the winter. But we don't want to lose a bunch of our heat while exchanging air with the outside. Also, there's a requirement for bathroom fans on bathrooms without windows. So, what's the solution? The solution is an air exchanger. It takes air from the inside of the house and exchanges it with outside air. There are two kinds of air exchangers: heat recovery ventilators, HRVs, and energy recovery ventilators, ERVs. The HRV is used where you primarily heat your house, and the ERV is used where you primarily cool your house. The dark blue on the map is the HRV area, the gray is the ERV, and you can use either in the light blue area. My lake home is in the dark blue area, so I elected to purchase an HRV. The HRV exchanges stale inside air for fresh outside air while removing humidity and preserving heat. It does this through a filter unit in the center of the air exchanger. I decided to go with an Aldi's air handler. It continuously runs at low flow, with the air intakes acting as fans in each of my 3 bathrooms. When you enter a bathroom and turn on the ventilation, you are moving the Aldi's to high flow and opening a larger valve in the bathroom ceiling. Now the air departs at high flow for the time selected on the wall timer. Chatting with a local supplier installer, he stated that a 5,000 square foot house needs a 200 cubic foot per minute exchanger. 200 feet per minute on high, 100 feet per minute on low. I purchased the Aldi's Heat Recovery Ventilator, HRV, H190-TRG, giving 201 cubic feet per minute. Return air, stale air from the inside. Exhaust air registers should be placed where the humidity level is high, such as bathrooms. Normally, the exhaust air intake registers would be located on the first floor between the bathroom and kitchen or in the basement near the bathroom. Avoid placing it in the same room as a combustion device, such as a fireplace or furnace. The vent should be installed high on the wall or in the ceiling. If installed on the wall, it should be placed at least 12 inches from the ceiling. Supply air, fresh air to inside. The fresh air diffusers should be installed in hallways near the primary return for the forced air system or in larger common areas. Fresh air should not be distributed directly to bedrooms, as this increases the likelihood for discomfort in cold or humid weather. Diffusers should be located in regions with reasonable distance from the exhaust registers to promote circulation of the fresh air throughout the dwelling. The supply diffusers should be installed high on the residential HRV, ERV 15 wall or in the ceiling. If the diffuser is located in a common area, it is recommended to place it on the ceiling so that it can better mix with the air in the room before reaching occupants. This will improve comfort in cold weather. If the diffusers are installed on the wall, place them at least 12 inches from the ceiling. The fully ducted system has the highest ventilation effectiveness. It is especially suited for homes without forced air systems used for both heating and cooling. Dedicated exhaust grills draw stale air from service rooms. Dedicated supply registers provide fresh air to main living areas and bedrooms. Grills should be located high on a wall or in the ceiling. Grills that diffuse the air are recommended. Here is the Aldi's HRV that I purchased. You can see the intakes and exhaust on the top and the diamond-shaped exchanger in the center. The main item that sold me on the Aldi's was this zone register terminal. This is the vent assembly that provides for 2 flow rates, continuous low flow from all bathrooms and for timed high flow in a given bathroom when selected. Episode 18, Design, Air Conditioning. I needed 4 rooms to be air conditioned. The vaulted timber frame center room, the main bedroom, and the 2 smaller main floor bedrooms. Since I was using in-floor heat, I did not have any ducting through the house for hot or cold air. Because of this, I elected to go with a type of air conditioning known as a mini-split air conditioner. A mini-split system is ductless and consists of 1 outdoor unit and 1 or more connected indoor units. The indoor units can be mounted on the wall, floor, or ceiling and will each comfortably heat and cool 1 room. The heating and cooling requirements of air conditioning units is measured in British thermal units, or BTUs. Units are often rated by tonnage. 1 ton equals 12,000 BTU, so a 1.5 ton unit would provide 18,000 BTUs. You will need to size your mini-split to your rooms. As a general rule of thumb, you'll want a unit that delivers about 20 BTUs for each square foot of living space. I needed to cool 4 rooms. The bedrooms were all isolated, and the great room and the kitchen are collectively 1 room. I decided to go with 2 mini-split systems. System 1 would cool the master bedroom and the kitchen great room. This system would consist of 1 outdoor unit with 2 internal mini-splits off of it. The combined BTU requirements for System 1 was 20,000 BTU. System 2 would cool the 2 smaller bedrooms. This system would be cooled by a different single outdoor unit with 2 internal mini-splits off of it. The combined BTU requirements for System 2 was only 6,000 BTU. So, let's install 4 internal mini-splits. 1 12K mini-split for the great room and kitchen, and 3 9K mini-splits, 1 for each of the 3 bedrooms. I ordered 2 different Senville 18HF units, a 9000-9000 and a 9000-12,000. These external units each require 12-gauge, 3-wire with ground, 20-amp, 220-volt power. I needed to pre-plumb the electricity and tubing for the living room air conditioning unit in that it would not be on an outside wall. The normal configuration of the electrical connection for a mini-split consists of the following: a dedicated GFCI circuit breaker, or breakers in the main service panel of the building. These breakers act as a surge protector for the mini-split. Wires of the appropriate gauge for the mini-split to be installed. For my units, this is 12-gauge wire, and these wires are to be run all the way from the main panel to a disconnect box on the outside of the building within just a few feet of where the outdoor unit will be located. The disconnect box has either a switch or removable plug that will shut off all power at that point. It may have another fuse or circuit breaker in it. The disconnect box is there so that the power may be easily and safely removed from outside of the building when the system needs maintenance or repair. The connecting cable from the disconnect box to the unit provides electrical power to the entire system. This could either be the wire that is approved for outdoor use, or an electrical whip, which is a waterproof tube which looks somewhat like a garden hose through which wires are run. Whichever one is used, the connecting cable extends power from the disconnect box to the condenser unit of the mini-split.